Hey everybody, it's your good buddy Spider with another episode already. Another episode of the show. Welcome. Welcome. I've got some interesting things to talk about. I think people might be a little bit irritated with what I have to talk about, but I'm not trying to be insulting or trying to make people upset with some of these topics. It's just some observations I've had and some things that have happened in the news recently and across social media. And we're going to talk about them. And we're going to see what we can figure out. I'm not expecting to change anybody's opinions necessarily, or to change the world, or to do anything like that. It's just, we're just here to talk about things. Now, I do want to say, as we get started, I am so impressed and thankful with the attention that this podcast has gotten in the last couple of months. And my voice kind of cracked there, and it sounded like I was going to be all really emotional about it, but I'm not. It was just my voice. I am thankful, though. I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression that I'm just being callous about it, but I am thankful. Over the last month, this podcast has had an increase in listenership of 368%. That's a staggering amount. 368%. That's a real number. I didn't just pull that out. That's from my statistics, from what Spreaker tells me, from where people are listening to the show. And apparently a big boost to that has been my website, my new website. It's still kind of new at this point. It's only a couple months old, to be honest. But LTATM.net. Let's talk about the madness. That's what LTATM stands for. Anybody else who uses it is just, whatever. That's their own business. They don't matter. They don't matter because they're not pulling in numbers like we are. So, let's talk about the madness. It's the website where you can listen to this show. You can watch episodes of This Uncanny Earth. You can watch episodes of all of our other various other projects. You can watch all of my game streams from YouTube. There's so much there. You can even listen to my music. You can listen to Spider in the Hall music there. And there's so much there. And it's excellent that people have been responding so positively to it. I wasn't sure how well it was going over, because the numbers on my host provider, my domain provider, GoDaddy, which, I know there's some various controversy about how they do their schemes and things over the years, but I'm not concerned about that at this point. I'm using them, I'm paying them, and that's how it goes. But their numbers seemed kind of okay, just okay. I wasn't sure where it was going. But the Spreaker numbers are telling me a different story. Spreaker. I'm not saying speaker wrong. Spreaker. Spreaker. That's the service I use to record these podcasts before I send it off into the ether of the internet. The Ethernet, you could say. But the Spreaker numbers are really excellent. They're very good. And I have all of you to thank. So thank you, loyal listeners. And maybe you listen because you think I'm going to say something ridiculous and you can laugh at it and you think it's comedy. And that's fine too. You're still listening. You're still hitting a click. You're still hitting that button. And you're helping me out. And I appreciate it. For whatever reason you're listening. Whether you like it or you're listening out of just for something to complain about or to joke about with your friends. Look what this guy, look at what he's have to say. Like, this is ridiculous. This guy is so dumb. Whatever, you're still listening. And I appreciate you. Unprecedented growth. I may have actually start earning money from this soon and making a living off of what I've been trying to do for the last 10 years in the entertainment industry. So thank you. I appreciate it. I do. So what are we talking about tonight, other than me just gushing over how great you all are out there? The Ohio weather. Oh my goodness. This is an old man segment because us old folks always have to talk about the weather. In everything we do, we got to talk about the weather. I listened to Jim Cornette's podcast. He's a WWE former, well, not necessarily just WWE. He's WWE, WCW, NWA, all these. He was a part of the pro wrestling business for the longest time, and then he basically retired, and now he does podcasting, which is commentary on the modern wrestling scene, and he tells stories of his time back in the day. And you can agree with him or not, that's up to you. But he always talks about the weather. He's in Kentucky. He's in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville. I can't say it the right way. I say it Louisville, and people from there with the accent can say it Louisville. Louisville. I can't say it right. I know there's a certain way that I hear him say it. Louisville. No matter how many times I try, I overthink it. So, my apologies to Jim Cornette for not being able to pronounce your city correctly. But he's in Kentucky, and they've been getting slammed by weather recently. And so that's what he talks about in his podcast before he gets into the various wrestling things. And so I guess it's just something that we do when we hit a certain age. We talk about the weather. As if it's some big important thing. Because it kind of is, I guess. We had storms like nobody's business that ran from Texas in a line up north and moved eastwards. And Tennessee got hit really hard. That's where Steven the intern lives. So I know he's doing okay right now, but Tennessee got hit real hard. Kentucky got hit hard. There were parts of Ohio that had tornadoes and things, but where I was at, we had 20 minutes of thunder, a little bit of heavy rain and some wind, and then it was over. That was it. We were good here in Canton, Ohio, where I reside. But it's been crazy. Like it was starting to get warmer. We had some days that were like 60 plus, like 70 degrees. Oh, I was sitting on the porch. I was having a good time. I was thinking, you know what? I should pull the grill out of the shed and start grilling again. And then it got real wet, and then it got down to it. There was snow last night, and the day before, there was snow. Not a lot, just a sprinkle, just a little bit. But there was snow because it got so cold. And right now, here in April, in Ohio, I know everybody's on the edge of their seat. It is currently 30 degrees outside right now. And it's 1:14 a.m. in the morning as of the time I'm recording this, because I record this stuff super late. If you folks don't know by now, you should know already that I'm a night owl. I stay up. I'll be up till probably 4:30, maybe even 5 a.m. before I hit the bed and go to sleep. It's just how I'm wired. But yeah, it's cold. It's cold out. So, and it's been just raining non-stop. Non-stop. For days. But that didn't stop the people in my little corner of Ohio from getting together to protest. Have you folks seen this? I'm sure you have. They're making a big deal about it in the mainstream media. I don't watch mainstream news. I don't watch Fox. I don't watch MSNBC. I don't watch CNN. I don't watch any of that stuff because I don't want people to give me their opinions on the news. I just want the news. And you get too many panels and panelists and people like, well, what do you think? What's your analysis of this event that happened? And then some talking head gives you some statistics that may or may not be true about something. And I'm not interested in that. I just want to hear what happened. That's it. I want to hear what happened so I can decide how I feel about what happened. I don't want to be told how other people feel about it because that's a way for them on that news channel, not some ambiguous whatever them statement, but the specific people on that news channel. It's a way for those people to tell me how they feel and to try to push me into feeling that same way, and I don't want to do that. But apparently, what was it, April 5th, I think. Today, as of recording this, it's the 9th. April 5th was some national, they called it Hands Off Our Democracy, I think. And it was a multi-state, some people say it was worldwide, but I don't think so. I doubt that. Nobody in other countries, well, other governments in other countries care what happens to the U.S. because there's trade stuff, and we're going to get to some of that. And that's all interconnected, and that's all in a state of free fall right now. But other citizens are kind of like, whatever. They're not going to protest the United States over in Abu Dhabi. Like, what would they care? Unless they're getting bombed, in which case, you know. But we're not bombing them right now, so I don't care. But we had apparently the national, what did I say it was? Hands Off My Democracy. Hands Off Our Democracy is what it was called. And it was supposed to protest against the Department of Government Efficiency, which is the Elon Musk organization appointed by Trump right now to weed out government corruption and like overspending and that kind of stuff. And I've seen a lot of different stories about it. And people will cite all these different resources and these different pages and these different articles. It's impossible at this point to say whether it's been effective or not. Some people are now screaming, now that I've said that well, how could you say it's been effective? It's cut all these vital programs and whatnot. And maybe it has. There's no way to verify a lot of this stuff because it's all... There's no actual, real, verifiable paperwork. When people tell me, oh yeah, you can look it up on this website. Yeah, but that's been compiled by somebody who made a bunch of educated guesses. Just like if you go to the other side, we're cutting this much waste. Well, okay, well, what's your sources? Well, here's what we have, and it's something that they created. It's a page that they set up. Like, you can't trust anybody on either side to know whether any of it is working. It's just a mess. I can't give it credit, and I can't condemn it because there's no way of knowing. The issue is so muddled. And the effects have not gone through yet. When the effects actually go through... Now, the one effect that has happened is the firings. A lot of people have gotten fired from their federal positions. And I sympathize. Everybody deserves to work. Everybody deserves to be able to support their families and stuff. I get it. I don't know what the actual reasons were for the firings. I'm sure they were given some kind of reason, but whether it was a real reason or a BS reason, I don't know. And whether they accept it as a good reason or a BS reason, I don't know. That's up to them. It's really murky. The whole thing is so hard to see through. But back to this thing, this hands off my democracy thing. It was a protest, it was an organized nationwide, apparently, according to, if you believe the right people or the wrong people or whatever. It was a nationwide protest, and they had one in the nearby, I think it's a township, Jackson Township. They had a protest. And Jackson Township is a little more well off than other places. So, of course, you had a lot of people who had Saturdays off, because it was on a Saturday, who could attend this. And that's just a bit of commentary from me, because, they didn't have to lose out on their work. They're still doing fine. And they protested up there. They claim it was up to 3,000 people. I don't think that many people even live in Jackson. Maybe they do. I don't know. I haven't looked at population results. I could be blowing smoke, but I don't think that many people showed up to protest. And they've been going on nonstop about it. And people have the right, if they want, to protest things. I don't very often, if at all, because I don't think it does a whole lot of good. People don't pay attention. I did a little bit of it during the virus years, and I'm not going to explain exactly one way or the other what I was doing. You can go back through my Facebook history and you can watch all the videos I made during that time. I was pretty open about where I stood on those issues. But I didn't go outside the courthouses, I didn't go outside the government places and wave a sign and yell and shout, because what are they going to do? Are they going to give a crap about me? No, probably not. Do I matter? No, not to them. And if you were to take a big protest against the United States government, and you were going to do it in Washington, D.C., where these decisions are made, okay, a protest there may be effective because the people are there. The people who are involved in the decision making, they're there, and they can see, oh, look at all these people who are mad at us about this thing. Maybe we should rethink this, right? But in Jackson, Ohio, nobody from the federal government is going to be looking at individual little towns like this. No one is going to care that you're yelling in Jackson Township, Ohio. It's just like, and again, I know people are going to be mad that I'm talking about saying this. I'm not telling you that you don't have a right to protest. You can go and do whatever you want. It's a constitutional right, whatever. I just don't think it's effective. I think you're wasting your time. A few years ago, several years ago, they had, I don't remember I think it was the George Floyd stuff, and I'm not going to make a comment on this. I'm not going to weigh in on whether that was justified or not. That's outside the scope of this, and I'm not out to piss people off or to make people angry or to have strong opinions about this kind of stuff. That's, I don't look for ratings that way. I'm not trying to be Howard Stern or whatever, or Tucker Carlson or whoever. I'm not looking to get rage views and rage listens. Okay? But they had the protests across the United States in various big cities, right? And then that led to some riots in some places and different things, They had protests here in Canton, Ohio. And my question was, what good was that going to do? Like, what role did the local government in Canton, Ohio have with any of that? Right? I mean, I get that you're mad, I get that you're upset, but why don't you go to the place where it happened and add to the numbers there to show them that, hey, we're mad? Because that would have been more effective, I think. Protesting about that event in a place where that event didn't happen does nothing. The local city leaders are just going to be like, okay, well, let's make sure that, we're careful about everything we do so nothing like that happens here. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be good. It just means they're going to make sure that nobody sees it. Right? I'm not calling my local government here corrupt. I'm just saying, if it is a corrupt government, if it was, then having a protest here for an event that didn't happen would just make them be like, okay, well, we'll just make sure that what we do is not viewable. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter unless it's in the place where it happened. And you can say, well, it's of national interest because it's a racial thing, it's this and that, and I don't think that was it. I think it was that local area, because the entire country isn't like that. And some people are going to say, well, you're an apologist, and of course it's all this, and all police are bad, and whatever. And, I don't think so. I think there are a lot of places where people are glad to have the police around to investigate things that happen and to put people in jail. Because some people are bad people, right? I don't know. It's a complicated thing, but I don't think protesting the DOGE here in Stark County, Ohio, is going to be a big deal. I don't think that they are going to care. And you're welcome to disagree with me, and that's the great thing about us living in this country, is that we can disagree about these things politely, of course. Let's not argue about it. I'm not going to call you an idiot for going out and protesting. That's not what I said, and I'm not going to say that. I don't think it was effective, but I'm not going to diminish your intelligence or your integrity or whatever about it. So on the flip side, I would hope that you wouldn't turn around and say, well, you're just an uninformed piece of dog poo for whatever. Because I didn't vote for Trump. I'll say that. I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Kamala either. Okay? And you can take whatever you want from either of that. But I didn't vote for any of those people. I didn't vote for them. Because I knew either way it was going to be not exactly what I was looking for in national government for me. So let's what do we got next on the agenda? I have a few things I was going to talk about. Let me look it up real quick because I have it written down. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. So, because of the relatively new LTATM.net website, shameless plug, because of that, and because I've had a renewed push in trying to promote not only my various creative outlets, but those of everyone that I'm connected to, which is This Uncanny Earth, every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, by the way. Big Buff Records, local record label, doing great things. And my own gaming channel, all that kind of stuff, because I'm involved in all those other kind of things. And I've got the website going. I thought, you know what, I should... The only social media that I was using, and honestly the only ones that I'm still going to use in any serious fashion, were Facebook and YouTube. Right? But I thought to myself, I should open up and expand my horizons to do promotion on other outlets to try to make sure that my reach is maximized. I want to make sure I get the most attention that I can to the projects I'm connecting with. And so, against my better judgment, I reopened my Instagram account, which I don't have too much there. I don't know, maybe I'll start putting up regular pictures. Probably not, but I don't know. I opened a new Twitter account, or X account, whatever you want to call it. And I opened a Bluesky account. Oh, goodness. Twitter is, about what I remember. It's a lot of shouting out into the nowhere. But it seems kind of calm these days. It seems like just people just saying stuff and hoping people listen, as opposed to demanding attention, which is what it was for quite a long time. I was on Twitter for a little while, and I hated it. I couldn't stand it. It wasn't a great experience, because I didn't like the fact that everybody just shouted everything into the internet, and the loudest shouters got the most attention. So I stopped using it. But I'm using it now just to post links to my various creative outlets. That's all it is. I'm not going to get engaged in any conversations. I'm not going to comment on various people's opinions and tweets. I'm not going to retweet anyone. Probably. I'm probably just going to post my things and hope for the best. Bluesky. Oh, where do I even begin? I jumped onto Bluesky for the first time because I thought, you know what? I might as well use every tool at my disposal. And if I'm not going to be talking about politics there, and if I'm not going to be talking about social issues there, then it shouldn't be problematic. I should be able to just post my things and call it a day. Bluesky has a lot of strange people. And I don't want to go out of my way to insult or to offend people, but my goodness, all of the worst things that I ever saw about Twitter when I was there before, all of that is now on Bluesky. It's people who there are a lot of deviant ideas and deviant opinions on Bluesky. And it's unapologetic. They don't care who knows and who sees, and there is a lot of people complaining. There are a lot of people just complaining about things on Bluesky. It is apparently the place to continuously air your grievances at length. Many websites have an option where if you don't like what you're seeing, you can block people and you can trim your news feed so that it becomes basically an echo chamber. That's a buzzword these days, but it's about as accurate as it gets. You can sanitize what you're seeing to the point where you only see things that you agree with, right? And I don't believe in that necessarily. I believe, unless somebody's being particularly rude or insensitive, then you might as well see what they're saying, because if you don't know what people are saying, you don't know if it's worth blocking or not, to be honest. And that seems kind of a paradox, but that's, you know, it, you don't know if someone is saying something horrible if you block them. They could just keep on saying horrible things. But you don't know. You're oblivious. So you have no voice in what they say anymore. Bluesky has a couple of options. It has a block function. And curiously, if you choose to block someone, which prevents them from interacting with your profile in any way, like they can't see what you post, they can't see what you do, and you don't see anything from them, but it's a public block. They will know that you've blocked them. And on the one hand, it's kind of like, okay, whatever, who cares if they know? On the other hand, it's kind of like a badge for some people. They can say, so-and-so blocked me because they were afraid of what I had to say. So-and-so blocked me because they're a bigot. So-and-so blocked me because they're actually a piece of garbage and they didn't want anybody to know and I was going to tell everybody. You know, it's counterproductive. It's for them to publicly know. I don't think it works. There's another option that they have, which is the mute, which I have used a lot. I have muted a ton of people. The mute is more subtle. The mute doesn't prevent other people from seeing what you do, but it does keep their comments off of your main feed so that maybe you aren't tempted to talk to them or to argue with them or to start a ruckus that might lead to bad things. And that's private. They won't know that you've muted them. Which is interesting to me, that they have that and then they have the public block, where the block is obvious and the mute is not. But I have muted a lot of people because there have been a lot of people that have just had just these ongoing just opinions about stuff that I'm just not interested about. And it's all complaining. It's all complaining. And you might think that I'm complaining about it here, but I'm not, because I'm proactive, because I took care of it. Instead of just me sitting back, oh, these people are just saying all this stuff and I hate it. Well, I've done something about it. I've muted them, so I don't have to care. I don't care what they say anymore because it doesn't matter. But man, they were... Oh. People complain about politics. People complain about social issues. People complain about gender problems. People complain about so many things. It is a giant sinkhole of complaints. The complaint department of the internet is Bluesky in 2025. That's what it is. Oh my goodness. Like, I could not believe. I had an idea that it wasn't going to go very good before I signed up, because I'd read a lot of stuff online about it, and you never really know if you just read stuff about it online. Like, then you're taking something at face value and you're thinking, okay, well, I guess that's true. Seeing it firsthand really really spells it out for me. So Bluesky, I'm on Bluesky, but I'm not engaging in conversations with people. Okay? If you're on Bluesky, you can find me there at ltatmofficial.bsky.social. ltatmofficial.bsky.social. I don't, like I said, I'm not going to get into any sort of arguments with people, so don't go there looking for an argument. But that's how you can find me on Bluesky. On X/Twitter/ whatever they want to call each other in the future. Let me see. What am I there? Again, I am at LTATM official on Twitter, if you want to follow any of my stuff there. To be honest, the things that I'm going to be posting there, I'm posting other places. I'm posting on YouTube. It's my YouTube links. I'm not posting opinions there. I'm not posting... I am not going to get into arguments or discussions or anything on either Bluesky or X. I am not at all interested in any of that. I am only going to be using it as a promotional tool for the website, ltatm.net. Let's talk about the madness. Technically, I'm also on LinkedIn, but I don't know. I'm only there because I thought it might be a bit of a boost, a little bit more visibility, and I don't know. There's no particular reason you need to follow me on LinkedIn, I guess. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. It's just another notch in the belt of things that I'm using to promote. But yeah, so that's the update on the various social media stuff that I'm doing. And I thought that discussion was going to take longer than it did. I thought I was going to have more to say about these various things. But I don't. So my time is a little shorter. It's only getting up to 38 minutes right now. So now I'm kind of at a loss for where to go from here. Because, again, like I said, I thought this was going to take longer. So let's talk games right now. What are we doing with games? I don't have a lot of controversial things to talk about game-wise. I talked about Avowed a couple episodes ago. I talked about Dragon Age the Veilguard. Not a big deal. You know, there's nothing new on that horizon. I talked about how Ubisoft was doing with Assassin's Creed Shadows. They have since spun off a portion of their company to partner with Tencent out of China, which is basically deal with the devil sort of material, and it's going to bite them over time. Tencent is going to eat them alive from the inside out, and their stock has cratered because of that. But other than that, what have I actually been playing? I've been playing on my Twitch and YouTube streams. I've been continuing through my Final Fantasy playthrough. I'm on Final Fantasy VII, which is one of my favorites. And it's been a lot smoother than the Pixel remasters because I'm very familiar with Final Fantasy VII. When I was a kid, I basically 100% everything in that game when I was a young teenager, early teenager. It was 1997 through 1999. Somewhere in that range is when I started playing that game on the PlayStation 1. It was 28 years ago, give or take. Gosh, it was a long time. And I did everything. I did the optional weapons. I did the whole... I found every single materia. You know, I did everything in that game. If you're not a game person and you don't know what these terms are, you know, we'll be done soon, I guess. But I'm familiar with 7. I'm very familiar with 7. Where I wasn't familiar with 2 through 6. I was familiar with 1 And then I didn't buy another Final Fantasy game until 7 because I was a kid and I didn't have money and I didn't buy these games and I didn't ask for them for Christmas. I didn't ask for them for birthdays. I got other games, Disney games and stuff, and whatever my dad thought I should be playing at the time, because he was the one who paid for my video games. And then I would ask for certain games once I got into teenage years, once I was more aware of such things. So I went from 1 to 7. I hadn't played 2 through 6, and my adventures through 2 through 6 now in the modern age have been enlightening, to put it mildly. But 7, I know exactly what to expect, and I'm doing well for it. We're trucking right along. It's a long game. There's a lot to it, but it's fun. So we're playing that. Playing Death Stranding, since it got ported over to the Xbox from Sony. I don't have a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 5, so I didn't play it when it came out. And so now it's on the Xbox, and I'm enjoying it. It's doing well. I have some problems with it, but not bad. It's a Kojima game. Kojima he's an eccentric character. He certainly is, and he makes some strange things. But I'm enjoying it. And I'm also playing through... I just recently picked up Predator Hunting Grounds. And this is... You might think, well, why would you play that? It's not exactly the style of game that you usually play. And let me get into it a little bit. Excuse me. It is an online squad-based combat game where you and 3 other people online, if you don't know that many people, if you don't know 3 other people, then they're randomly assigned, right? Go into battle against a randomly assigned player who's the Predator, and you do a scenario, and you try to go through your mission and escape, and the Predator player tries to hunt you all down and murder you. But I don't play it online, because I don't like playing online. I don't like playing with people. I'm not a people person, even though I'm here in the entertainment industry entertaining all of you fine folks. I like you folks. I do. You folks are great. But I don't like playing with random people over the internet, as I've mentioned before. And so I play in private matches, where I can play as the Predator against AI squads of people, or as a squad member doing various things. For whatever reason, they don't have a programmed AI Predator if you're playing as the squad in a private match. And I don't know why. Maybe it was just too much for it to handle. Maybe because every time they threw a Predator into there, it just mindlessly ran forward to attack people rather than being tactical like the actual Predator does. Because that's what the squad people do. The squad people, if you're playing as the Predator, the AI squad people just run around doing their objectives. They go straight from here to there. They don't try to use the jungle to their advantage. They don't try to hide. They don't try to use all the items available on the map. They just go from A to B. Very limited. So, I don't know. But I'm having fun with it. I am a big Predator fan. A big fan of the Alien franchise. I remember doing a review a ways back for Alien Romulus. I don't know if I'm going to watch Alien Earth. Is that what it's called? It's a Hulu series that's coming up. I don't know if I'm going to watch that. There is also, on Hulu, there's a Predator series coming up. It's animated. It's Killer of Killers, I think is what it's called. I just saw the announcement trailers, but I don't like the animation style. It's like CGI, but they're trying to make it look like stop motion when it isn't. It's And the character sizes and things are exaggerated, and it's just, I don't know. I did not like the look of the trailer at all. So I don't think I'll be watching that. But I might watch the Alien show. Alien Earth. Or Aliens Earth. I don't remember what exactly the nomenclature is, as you would say. Nomenclature? Nomenclature? I don't know how you can say that word. I just know what the word is. So I'm a fan of the franchise. So I like Hunting Grounds for what it is. It's limited. It could be better. But it's fun. It's mindless fun. I liked Aliens Fireteam Elite. It was fun. It was also one of those things where we were supposed to hook up with people online and have a squad of 3 online players fighting against the AI aliens. But I always play with AI robots because I don't like to play with people. But that was fun. And I liked the Aliens vs. Predator video game from the 360 days. I still play that sometimes. It's backwards compatible on the Xbox Series X. And I keep trying to play Alien Isolation. But it makes me so tense because you cannot fight the alien. If you could at least drive it away for periods of time with your weapons, you could fight it to a certain extent. I don't mean being able to defeat it necessarily, because that defeats the point of the game. But if you could at least get it to leave instead of just having to hide all the time, I think I would enjoy it more, because it would give me more options. Having to just hide from it all the time, I make mistakes. I get so tense. I get so... and it catches me eventually. I wish it were more like Dead Space. Dead Space, things would jump out and they would attack you from all directions, but you could fight them off. You'd always know that they would be back, so you'd have to watch your ammo because you could run out at a crucial point. You'd have to be careful, make sure your resources were up. But if you were smart, if you were careful, you could get through the levels. And I wish this game was more like that, because I want to play it more. I want to play more Alien Isolation, but I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it. I would like to, but I don't think so. Anyway, I guess we're getting towards the end here. I don't have a whole lot more to say before I'm going to start rambling about things. So let me do some housekeeping here. What do we have going on in the various worlds that I'm connected to? I told you about ltatm.net. Let's talk about the madness. It's the hub of everything that I'm doing and everything that I'm connected to with other people. You can watch the game streams there, both live from Twitch or after the fact from YouTube. You can watch episodes of This Uncanny Earth, which has recently gone through some changes. We've updated how we do some things. You're going to see a little bit of variety there that you didn't see before. We're going to reinvigorate it. And it's got a new intro and a new outro. So good stuff coming from This Uncanny Earth. Everybody's motivated. Everybody's ready to go. Paranormal, historical, all that good stuff. There's a page for Big Buff Records with multiple videos that you can watch from various artists on the roster. A lot of good talent. We have an event coming up. As of this broadcast in May 10th, 2025. It's Goth Night at the Vortex in Akron, Ohio. The Vortex Concert Club. Show up there in your best goth fashions, if you have them, and listen to some great music. I will be performing. Seth the Come Up Adonis Boyd, and Berserk will all be performing. It's going to be a fun night. We're going to have some good time. A lot of good attention has already been shown towards that show, which I appreciate. Also on the website, we have the Patreon link, the LTATM community, where you can participate in talking about the madness. There's going to be various backstage videos of things like blooper reels and demos and just random stuff up there, maybe some food tastings, all kinds of stuff that's going to go up there. I'm still going through the footage of the Lost Spirits videos. These were a bunch of Spirits Club videos that Rob and I did that I didn't get the chance to edit at the time because they were just, the file sizes were super large. They were done on a GoPro, so the quality is really high, but the file sizes were really large, and we did multiple takes of things. Like, we would just, if we made mistakes, we would stop and we would re-record it, which we usually don't do. It was kind of a first for us, and we haven't gone back to that format because it was kind of cumbersome. But I'm going to put them up basically uncut onto the Patreon, the LTATM community, which you can link to from ltatm.net. There's also a couple of sections there that I'm not going to talk about because as of this broadcast, it's still kind of a secret, but it won't be by the time this Uncanny Earths episode rolls around. That's when the announcement is going to come through. You can also become a affiliate or sponsor. If you are a business or just a person with something to promote, you can get in touch with me. If you have a short 1 minute or less video advertisement or just an advertisement image or whatever, you can advertise and sponsor on the website for a modest monthly fee or a yearly fee. You will save money if you're going to do it yearly. There's actually a discount by quite a bit if you're going to be doing yearly. Or there's even 3-month blocks if you want to test it out at your own pace. You have 1 month, you have 3 months, and you have a year. It's advertising. We're getting a lot of attention. We're growing. I think it'd be great for your business or your events or whatever you have going on. If you're interested, get at me for the rates. They are the best in town. I guarantee nobody is giving you ad space for this cheap. I guarantee that. I bet. So we got that all going on. There's a lot of stuff happening. That's the hub for everything that's happening in my entertainment life right now. And there's more robot reviews too. I still have more stuff coming from Hasbro that I've done. I've done some more videos about that if you're interested in what kind of Hasbro Transformer action is going on. Occasionally something else, but not often. I don't want to diversify my collection beyond Transformers too far because I'm not made of money, clearly. So I got to keep my interest in a certain area. But yeah, lots of good stuff happening, and I think we're gonna wrap up. I don't know when this show actually came along pretty quickly compared to the last one because I had things that I wanted to talk about, which didn't take very long apparently. So I rambled on about the website. But keep an eye here for whatever I come up with next. You never know when I'm going to talk about anything. And as always, let's talk about the madness, LTATM. I'm going to see you folks next time. Have a good night.